Hey guys, Amazing Libertarian here. Making this as a answers video from my previous questions video. It's been about 2 hours since I posted it, and I've already had a bunch of questions asked. This isn't the cutoff time. Keep asking questions over the next couple days under this video and the other video. Keep leaving your comments or video responses, and I will continue answering questions. But I thought I'd get through the first batch of questions here now and post it up on YouTube. So let's get started. Lignitol07, sorry if I'm not pronouncing this right. His question is, if you were given a time machine, which eras in history would you like to visit? I'd like to visit, well, first off, I'd like to visit millions of years ago, and then see how old the Earth really is, just to tell everyone, hey, now we all know. You know, just like set it back a million years until I finally get to the point when everything was created. That'd be kind of interesting. As for more modern time periods, or modern in a sense compared to, when we believe the Earth created, I'd like to go back to Roman times and see things like that. I'd like to go back to the time of Christ and see for myself whether it's true or not. And then I'd like to go back to when my parents were kids and see what life was like then. Really, I would like to go to any time period. But yeah, basically historical time periods that, I could question facts and see for myself what is true or not. Litho Didman asks, how did you come to the level of questioning you have now? Were you raised to question dogma, or did you have a turning point? No, I really wasn't raised to question things. I mean, I've gone to a religious school my entire life of some sort, always extremist, fundamentalist Christian school. So I've always been taught not to question things. My parents aren't really extremely religious. They're moderately religious. We don't go to church, but I'm basically at private school more for education than I am for religion. But I didn't really have a religious influence from them. But I guess the reason I question things so much is just because of the way I think. I don't know. I've never really been taught to question things. I've been taught not to. But I have a rebellious nature. So if someone tells me to do something, I always try to do the opposite as much as I can. So when I'm told not to question things, I always like to question them. So that's probably why I don't accept things at face value and I look into them and I analyze them. Tattoo Skin 72 asks, let's see. As you question it more, do you feel your faith sort of slipping away slowly? Yeah, kind of. Sometimes I feel like as I question more and as I research more, I feel I wouldn't really even describe what I believe as faith. I don't have faith that there is a God. I just kind of accept that there is based off of reasoning and evidence that I found. And I don't really have faith that Jesus was God. I believe it off of evidence. I mean, if you watch my previous faith videos, I don't like faith. But as for my beliefs, do I really feel like I'm losing my beliefs or they're changing? I mean, sometimes. It just depends on specific beliefs. Like my belief in God, let's take for example. When I question it and I analyze it, at times I feel like, hey, maybe there isn't a God. And then at times I, feel more affirmed, like, yeah, I did just find some reasoning or evidence for God. So it really depends on specific cases and when I'm making the videos. But generally, no, I don't really feel like I'm losing the core values of what I believe as I analyze them more. I wouldn't mind losing them, but I don't feel like I am. I don't feel like I've really had enough evidence against them to do so. So no, I don't really think that. So sorry, bad answer to the question. Mike Libertarian asks, how did I become a libertarian? Are my parents libertarian, or did I just educate myself about politics? Funny. Good question, Mike Libertarian. My beliefs always really followed a libertarian kind of thought. My mom is a Democrat and my dad is a Republican, so I don't really have libertarian influences. I have influences from both of the major parties. And the school I go to is extremely conservative. So, I don't really know where I got my libertarian thought. It's just the way I think about things, and through research that I've done. But my beliefs have always really followed a libertarian thought, but I never really classified them as libertarian until when I was doing debate research for debate elective I took. We did debate tournaments and stuff. When I was doing that, I came across the libertarian like official website, and I looked into it, and it completely followed. It was like my exact beliefs, just written, officially into an official party. So that's basically where I got that from. I'd always really thought the libertarian way, but I never knew I was thinking like a libertarian until I had done research about it. I actually started doing the research because my dad told me, we were debating about different topics, and he told me to look up libertarianism because it seemed to be what my beliefs followed. So I don't really know where I got my original beliefs, but definitely not from my parents or my school, so I guess it's just kind of the way I think. Super Atheist Brothers has a few questions. He asked me, what is the school that you and That Riley Guy go to like? If you don't know, me and the user That Riley Guy go to the same school, and we have completely opposite beliefs. It's funny he asked that question because I'm starting a new series talking about all the stupidity taught in private schools. I've already recorded a couple of videos from that, one of which is about our private school and how they tell us which friends we're allowed to have as a Christian. And then another one's about what they taught us about evolution and the Big Bang. But, so I'm going to go into that with a whole series of videos. But it's all just things like have faith, don't look at evidence, accept the Bible before you accept science, ridiculous statements, but I'm doing a whole series on that, so I won't go too in-depth to that question right now. How do you feel about the education they gave you? The education is extremely good besides science. Besides science, I mean, I'm completely educated, much better than I could have been at public schooling, except for science, because they didn't teach us about the Big Bang or evolution, really. They just strawmanned it in one class lesson. So, besides that, I feel like I got a good education from private schooling. I took geometry in 8th grade, they're far ahead of public schooling is, except for science, really. And science isn't too bad except for the creation of the Earth. The rest is pretty on par with what public schooling would give me anyway. When are you going to start making some political videos? I don't know. I probably should get to some of my political views soon. I have a few different religious videos I'm going to be releasing before I get more into political videos. But yeah, it's a good reminder I should be making some more political videos, so I'll get into some of that soon. What are your thoughts on anarchy? I feel like anarchy would only work in a perfect society, and without a perfect society, anarchy won't work, because as I understand it, anarchy is no government, let the people control what happens, basically. I haven't done a lot of research on it, but that's basically what I've gotten out of it. And I think unless you have perfect people, you can't have a perfect anarchy. You can't have people running everything because people are flawed. So I think there is a need for government. However, I think because I'm a libertarian, my beliefs are that government should be as small as possible. But I definitely don't think anarchy is the way to go at all. However, I think I would prefer anarchy to communism, truthfully. Just because even if it's more chaotic and it doesn't have as much safety, I would rather make my own decisions than have the government make them for me. And his final question is, what positions have shifted since you joined the YouTube community? The first one that comes to mind is my views about hell and whether it exists or not. Huge change in those beliefs. You can watch my videos about that. Other than that, I don't think I've changed my opinions a lot. I know I've learned a lot more. I know I've learned a lot more about evolution, Big Bang, abiogenesis, So my views have probably changed slightly. I mean, I accept the fact that there's no 100% truth of God or not God. You can't prove God exists 100%. You can't prove he doesn't exist 100%. Um, uh, I've never really used faith as an argument, never really used the Bible as an argument, even before YouTube. Um, so not too much has changed, but I've definitely educated myself more. But I've only been on YouTube for about 2 months, actually. In my questions video, I messed that up. I've been on YouTube for 1 month and 3 weeks, not 2 months and 3 weeks. But anyway, so I haven't been on YouTube enough to really change my views that much. But I definitely think my views are going to continue to change as I stay on YouTube. And the biggest one has been my beliefs about hell. So thanks for all the questions, guys. Keep asking your questions. I'll keep answering them in more videos. So, see you guys.